Welcome to The Vault, where we reveal some of the best kept secrets for success. Our show is designed to introduce you to industry professionals in TV, movies, music, sports, and business. Now, our goal is for you to learn from their wealth of information and use it to realize your dreams. Our next guest is a professional golfer who has worked with brands like New Balance, and a product catalog photo shoot with them turned into a modeling opportunity with the Elite Model Agency. Introducing DJ Lantz. All right, welcome to The Vault. Today's episode, Par for the Course. Today we're going to be talking about golf, and we have DJ Lantz, who's a professional golfer here in the house. DJ, welcome to The Vault.
How you doing?
Super excited to have you here. Thank you for being a part of our crew here for the day. We just want to jump right into the questions, so if that's cool with you, we'll just get started.
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right, cool. So can you tell us your journey of how you became a professional golfer and all that entails, please?
Sure, absolutely. So I was actually really late to the game. I started playing when I was about 15 years old. It was just something I wasn't really interested in. It was a little slow for me. So at about 15, I discovered the game of golf and found out I wasn't very good at it. And really what got me into it was how difficult it was. So I really enjoyed the challenge and the constant learning process. So I really don't like being bad at something. So I really got addicted to it, and the rest is kind of history.
So what do you love about golf? What is exciting about it to you?
So each day is never the same. You're going to face different conditions. You're going to face different green speeds. You're going to face different players. Ultimately, there's just a lot to learn every single time you tee it up. So I think it's the constant learning process that I really enjoy.
So I know that you, from doing research on you, that you did a lot of team sports before, and then you went to golf. So how is that different? I mean, I know, but tell me from your side of the spectrum here.
Yeah, absolutely. So team sports was really fun. I used to love team sports. Lacrosse was a big part of my life growing up, and the camaraderie that comes along with that is great. Both in the wins and the losses, you always kind of have a brotherhood with you, whereas golf, there is the highs of wins and the lows of losses, and there's really nobody to blame but yourself. And I think the highs and lows are a little bit more significant in an individual sport, but team sports obviously teach you a lot about how to work with others and appreciate those highs and lows.
So let's talk about that a little bit more. Tell us the type of discipline that you had to have to become a professional athlete and the sacrifices that you had to make that happen.
Yeah, it definitely cuts into your social life a little bit. You know that others aren't necessarily out partying and hanging out with friends on weekends, so you know you can't be doing the same if you want to compete. So definitely a social sacrifice if you're looking to pursue a sport at a professional level, unless you're naturally gifted, which there are a few people that are. But I was one of those people that it really came down to a lot of hard work and putting the time in.
So for golf, I don't really know about, but I know other sports, it's like diet is very important. And we'll talk about diet in regards to the other thing that you do and how important it is. But for golf specifically, do you need like a specific body type to succeed?
I would say in the past, not so much, but the transition to golf becoming more of a sport has been pretty evident in the last few years. The guys out there are swinging faster. They're hitting it harder. They're starting to look more like athletes. They're spending a lot of time in the gym, both in a recovery and strength standpoint. So I wouldn't say there's a specific body type in the golf world right now, but I think it's trending more towards that athletic, fit, kind of that long and lean muscle look. So
since the Tiger era, huh? Right? After Tiger, he kind of set the bar, huh?
Yeah, he's changed the game for sure. I think it's good. Makes it all exciting. You want to see it go far.
So tell me about, did you have any mentors growing up in the golf world or people that you would like to emulate their career?
As far as someone's career that I was trying to emulate, I wouldn't say. Obviously, I had a couple people in my life that were significant, being that my grandfather always played and my dad always played. So I always wanted to be like them in a way, but it wasn't until I got older that I realized that it was something that I wanted to pursue. There's certain people on tour whose careers I think are really significant. Someone like Ricky Fowler, who not only plays the game to a really high level, but he also takes time for his fans and giving back to the community. I think that's really important when you get in that type of role where you can give back. So I would say someone like him is really kind of the cookie cutter future golfers should look at and emulate.
So I know that you had an injury that did it stop you from playing golf, or how? Tell me how that played into. It was like a back injury you had, right?
Yeah, correct. I hurt my back.
And so are you're still playing, or what happened after that?
Yeah, I'm still playing as much golf as I ever have. But during that period of time, I injured my back actually working out. Didn't warm up properly, kind of hopped right into it, tweaked my back. It was related to the SI joint, kind of connects with that sciatic nerve, so you get a lot of leg pain. So there was a period of time where putting on socks and shoes wasn't an option. So obviously swinging a golf club wasn't at all. So that was really a low point for me because I was kind of lost there for a second.
How long was that an issue?
About 6 months where
Wow.
I couldn't swing, but there was a good month where I wasn't.
There was a good month where what? Could you repeat that?
There was a good month where I wasn't putting anything down except for sandals on my feet. There was no way to bend down, put socks and shoes on.
Yeah, that sciatic pain is horrible. It's almost paralyzing, and I've had it before. Maybe not at the level you did for as long as you did, but yeah, I can't even imagine trying to swing a golf club because of that torque component.
Right.
I mean, that would just be like really a nightmare. So
Yeah.
during that time, I mean, did you feel like your career was in jeopardy at any point?
Yeah, I definitely felt like in order to compete at the highest level, I'm going to need to be able to put the work in. And when you have back pain and you're not able to practice for the hours that you need to, definitely feel like you're at a disadvantage. So there was a period of time there where I was starting to search and wonder if it was a career that I was going to pursue long term, or if it was something that I, maybe put in the rear view mirror and start to look other directions.
So when you're kind of doing that soul searching, what are some of the things that are going through your head? Like, what was your plan B? Finance, I think?
Yeah, it was finance. Yeah, I went to school for economics and finance, and what attracted me to that was the fast pace of Wall Street. I'm from the Northeast, so I thought that's where I wanted to go. It was competitive. It was fast. There was a lot of similarities, I think, between that and sports. So that was kind of plan A, and then golf kind of took the plan A as I progressed in the game, and then finance became plan B. So plan B was starting to look pretty good when the back was in a tough spot.
So I want to show our audience this really awesome commercial. It's a New Balance commercial, and I'm just going to let the video do the talking. So I love these types of commercials. They give me goosebumps. It's kind of like a heroic commercial with all these great shots of literally you taking shots.
Right.
I want to go through, we got some good photos of you in action, and that's going to be a great segue for the next thing we're going to talk about. But let's put up a 3-box with some great photos of my man in here in action here. So this is you on the course. Kind of talk us through, I mean, don't get into the second part of, I know you know what we're going to talk about next, but tell me more about the golf game and kind of go through these photos as we, where are you here?
So left shot, one in the Hugo Boss polo, the short sleeve. I was in Kauai, Hawaii. I was shooting a handful of different brands while I was out there. Hugo Boss was one of them. Kind of fell under the umbrella of Trendy Golf. It was a website that's still in existence, and they carry all these luxury brands. So I was lucky enough to be chosen to go out there and shoot all those brands. So that was a really fun couple of days.
It looks beautiful. Let's go to the next photo. So tell me, where in the world have you played golf?
I've played golf in Ireland, Australia, and United States. So
wow,
well, I'm still
a lot of miles to go, right? Your passport needs a couple more stamps, right? All right, so let's go to the next picture here. These are great. So like you're on some cliff here. It looks like Ireland, maybe.
Yeah, so that's an old head in Ireland. That's actually the oldest surviving lighthouse in Ireland. And they decided to put me on the roof and hit some shots. So I didn't know how acceptable that was going to be, but we went with it, and it was a good time, and didn't get any ramifications for that. So that's always a bonus.
Yeah, it's perfect. Let's go to the next one. All right, so here you are with Nike, and we'll go to the next. Yep. All right, so tell me about this this ad here.
So the New Balance ad was really what sparked the modeling career. New Balance was taking care of my footwear while I was playing. And during that time when I was injured, they asked me to come out and do a shoot. So a lot of these swings aren't actually action swings. I'm just kind of holding positions for the camera because my back was in such a rough spot. So I really couldn't swing golf clubs the whole time. But that was the first time that I started to see kind of the fruits of the labor, where you see the finished product, and it was kind of fun to see. It kind of drew me into the industry a little.
So what I love about this story, and this is what you just elaborated on, is that time in your life where you had this big challenge with your back and that injury actually opened the doors to this. And
absolutely,
in this case, like you said, you didn't even have to really swing. You just had to hold the pose. And it looks pretty authentic to me, the layman guy who doesn't play golf that often. And this is starting a whole new career in modeling. So we'll keep going through some of these real quick. I don't know. I think this is the last one. You look like, who do people say you look like?
Honestly, the most common one I get is Tom Brady, and I think it's the biggest compliment. But other than that, I don't really get anybody. I actually had someone say something to me today, and I forget. It's kind of too bad that I forget, but it was another football player.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that you're from the East Coast, so Tom Brady is probably, like you said, a great compliment, which is great. Yeah, he's the GOAT. But when I first saw you, I thought you looked like Archer, the cartoon.
I'll take it.
Yeah, so you could be like the new, what's the guy who plays Superman? I forgot his name now. I should know it. But anyway, you could be the new Superman or the new Archer, and I think that could be like your next version 3.0.
Yeah, that'd be a fun challenge. I'm definitely open to challenges, so hey, Superman could be it.
Par for the course. Let's make it happen. I know the producer. So let's talk about that next phase in your career. I think I just want to make sure I don't skip over anything. Oh, I have one more. I have a really cool video to show of you and your fiance doing a great commercial. So let's show that commercial right now. We'll do full screen. Wait, that's a water commercial? I thought it was like a hotel commercial or a toothpaste commercial or maybe like a technology commercial. You guys are like, so that, how did that play out? Were you able to actually be on on TV with your fiance?
So that was something that kind of came about really early on when we signed with Ford. The idea with signing with Ford was I was hoping that we could get some shoots together and work together. Because I was really excited to see what she can do, because I know that's a big passion of hers. So I was really most interested to see what she could do on camera. So that really just spun out of signing with Ford, and it was the first job that we got together, so it was a ton of fun.
It's really great, and I've told Steph, your fiance, this before, that you guys kind of have that like Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibe. I don't know, have you seen that movie with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie? Like, you guys should be in a kick-ass spy movie or something. I think that'd be really fun.
Our neighbor actually across the way has mentioned that to us. He thinks that we live this normal life, but you come inside these doors and you've got guns sitting in the walls and stuff. So.
Oh, okay. So maybe we're right on target. So that house is in Pasadena, where we are right now. So we can recreate a scene in front of the front yard of that house, just like the movie. So next time you guys come visit, we'll do that. So let's talk about modeling. Let's cut to some great photos that you have here. You had all the women in our studio drooling here. So kind of talk us through this as we go through. I'll just kind of have them go on autopilot.
Absolutely. So the modeling was very comfortable in the beginning. We did a lot of golf stuff, so it was very, very natural for me. Stepping outside of that into more of the fashion side of things was something that my agent wanted me to do. So that was definitely a new challenge. So I kind of took it head on and basically wanted to make sure that I was in as good a shape as I could be. So I really focused on eating clean and working out and spending the time so that when I did get in front of a camera that I was going to be happy with how I looked personally. So it was a fun period of time doing that, especially in Miami. They're definitely a little bit more, like you see there, open shirts.
Let's cycle through while he's talking. I want to see some more. Keep going, keep going. There we go. So how much work did it take to get that 8-pack right there?
Honestly, just diet, spending the time preparing meals and getting in the gym. But I really enjoy a challenge, so that was really fun for me, just getting as good a shape as I could. I see those pictures and it really made me want to get back after it.
Next picture. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so this is the boss. You're the boss.
Yeah, right. Eagle Boss. It's in Ireland. That stuff's really easy. Shooting golf stuff's really simple. A lot of it's just really authentic. Take golf shots, and they're just going to capture your face and your reactions to the shot. So that's really simple stuff.
And then you got some fashion ones here. Like, it's kind of like golf crossover / lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. So that one was editorial, and that's exactly what they were going for, just a more of a fashion and golf intersection. So we did a handful of fashion stuff, handful of golf stuff. Not as much swinging involved with that one, but yeah, some great brands we work with.
All right, and here you are. I think you were on a tour in Hawaii and you got lost, so now you're looking a little bit contemplative of what you're going to do next.
Yeah, so that's the lobby of the Grand Hyatt Hawaii. It was an amazing venue. Really easy to photograph there. Had a great stylist, set me up with some great apparel, and just shot some stuff while we were on that golf trip out there. So I believe that stuff is Bonobos, which was really nice. So yeah, it was a fun shoot.
All right, let's go to the next one. Is there any more? Is that it? All right, I think that might be it. All right, so let's talk about some social media stuff. I need our social media team to give me their phone. Sorry, she's in the middle of texting someone. Hopefully I didn't ruin your text. But our audience has questions for you too. So we wanted to give them a chance to ask you. So the first question is, what is it like to be a pro athlete? Someone who wants to be a professional golf player, what advice would you give them?
Definitely put the work in. Take the time to really spend hours and hours working on short game. Short game is so important. I didn't realize it until I was older, how important it is. You start to spend time around professional golfers, you see that a lot of the guys hit it very similar, but it's the guys who have the really good short games that are going to be able to succeed out there. The guys that can have a bad day but still get it around are the guys that have really good short games. So spend time on short games, play in as much tournaments as you can play in, and just have fun doing it.
That's funny you say that, because my worst part is my short game. I just love hitting it like Happy Gilmore, but the finesse part I hate, because I just like get like 8 shots when I'm 1 foot away, and I'm like, what the heck? So
you go to any driving range where there's professionals, they're all going to be in the short game area, working on their short games, and all the amateurs are on the range teeing up driver after driver. Makes no sense, but
I think it's just a cathartic thing to hit that ball as hard as possible, to try to hit that guy in the golf cart trying to pick up the balls.
Oh, it still gets me if I'm at a public range and that cart comes out. I'm going to waste half a bucket.
So I forgot to tell you this. I didn't even think about this, but when I was in high school, I was driving one of those, and I was the guy
Really?
picking up the ball. That was my job. And so, like, you'd be getting in the zone, and all of a sudden this ball would go bam, and like, if you turn the cart the wrong way, it flips. And so I actually almost flipped the cart when someone hit the ball against the cage, like 100 miles an hour. It was pretty amazing. So let's go. What are you gonna say?
I spent a lot of hours in those cages.
Oh yeah. So you know. All right. So my next question is, what advice do you have for people who are interested in being a model?
Interested in being a model? I would say just have fun with it. Get in front of the camera. Do as many test shoots as you can with different photographers. Feel out different areas of the industry, whether it be sports or fitness or fashion or runway, and kind of decide what's going to be best for you. And then maybe in those weaker areas, spend some time. It's an industry where you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So I think just get in front of the camera as much as you can. Put that stuff out there on social media. Just have fun with it.
So I think what's really cool is you did find your target audience because it was already your passion. So golf parlayed into modeling golf attire and the lifestyle. So that was something you knew very well and you felt natural in front of the camera, right?
Right. That's where I'm going to feel most natural. So
that's
I can spend time in front of a camera with a golf club in my hand or talking golf, the better off.
So DJ, on this show, it's all about the successes, but it's also about the challenges that you face. I need to know, like on a deeper level, not just like, you didn't have money for a month or something. What were some of the biggest challenges you had to face?
Biggest challenge for me initially was deciding to leave the small town that I grew up in and venture to Jupiter, Florida to pursue golf where I knew nobody. It was definitely a big risk, but I have such a great family that I was comfortable doing that because I know worst case scenarios, I end up back home in New Hampshire. But deep down, I knew that really wasn't going to happen. I knew I could be dropped in any area and figure out a way to be successful and figure out a way to survive because I think I grow with those challenges and I really like taking on those bigger challenges.
So I can identify with you. I know that it just seems like you have a champion mindset and you have very few times in your life it seems that you are like back against the wall. But like, what else? Like anything else where you felt like you had no options, even if it was just for a short amount of time?
The back injury definitely, sat me down both literally and figuratively. I mean, I had no idea what I was going to do. That professional golf was all I wanted to do, was all I thought about. So the thought of not being able to pursue golf anymore and play golf to a high degree and at a competitive level was something that was a big thing to overcome. But it's a slow process to kind of get over that, and I'm pretty happy with where it ended up.
As a person who's gone through injury myself, I had heart surgery, and I know exactly what that feels like when you don't have your mind and your body are in two different places. Like your mind wants to do something, but your body won't let you. And I know that that is so frustrating. So I definitely empathize with your story of how your dream had to be put on hold. For me, it was filmmaking. I had to basically stop my film career to get better. So I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to having your dream deferred, but really your health is your most important asset, because if you don't have your health, everything else is for nothing. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And I think now I pay more attention to the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm eating, how I'm spending my time, the people I'm spending my time with. All those things have a big, big impact on your overall health, both mentally and physically. So something I'm definitely more aware of as I've progressed in age. So I would definitely.
And that's a great point too. I love that what you said. It's not just your physical well-being; it's your mental state. And a positive mindset can get you really far. And you seem to have that. And I think that a lot of people go through life without a positive mindset, and it's also a muscle that you have to exercise on a daily basis. What do you think?
Yeah, I think challenging your brain on a daily basis and looking at that adversity and taking it head on is really important. And you're going to learn a lot more from the losses than you are from the wins. So appreciate the losses and look at those as a positive and figure out where that silver lining is. There's always going to be a positive somewhere. So whether it be personal growth or learning from an experience, there's always something you can gain.
We have a segment here where you talk to your younger self. Can you do that right now? We'll go in full screen mode and have you give yourself, your younger self, some advice on how to get further faster.
Yeah, so my younger self, the first thing I'm going to tell you is start playing golf at a young age. You have all the tools and things that you'll need to progress in the game. Just spend time working on your short game. It's cool to play golf. At the time, it wasn't, but it is now. So just put the time in. It's going to pay dividends in the end, and continue to play your team sports because those are important. It's going to teach you a lot about the game of golf and the game of life. So that's what I would recommend.
I love it. I love it. So I think that advice is pretty universal. This show is all about the secrets of success. And as you can see, we're surrounded by money and gold and all that. But the true, I think, definition of success is knowledge, because if you have knowledge, you can be successful in anything. What are some of the secrets that you could impart on our audience today?
In terms of success and growth? Sure. I would say, again, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Taking risks is important. You have to take risks. That's how I ended up in Florida to begin with from the Northeast. It was strictly a risk. It was, I know I want to be in golf. Jupiter, Florida is where you need to be if you want to pursue golf. So I hopped in my car and drove to Jupiter, Florida. So take risks, have fun along the way, network. And I think handwritten thank you notes are huge. They go a long way.
That's a good one. I like that. So the other thing we have here are when our guests are in studio, we do something called the priceless item segment, where you would bring in, if you were in studio, an item that we normally hide behind here, and then you reveal it and tell us why that is such a priceless item. Do you have something like that, or could you tell us about what your priceless item is?
Well, aside from obviously health, mentally and physically, the most important thing in my life has been Stephanie. So she's been a huge part of my life. She challenges me on a daily basis, and I couldn't imagine life without her at this point. So,
is she in the room? Yeah, bring her in. Get in.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Woo! So look at this couple right here. This is, I call these, this is like the Colgate couple right here. These guys have like a perfect smile every day, glow in the dark smile. Love it. So yeah, having a great partner in life is important, and it looks like you guys are super happy, and I once again want to congratulate you guys on your up and coming wedding. And you have a lot of great things on the horizon in modeling and golf and the entertainment industry. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, well, thank you.
All right, I now pronounce you husband and wife. There, we just cut right to it. You may kiss the bride. Oh, how romantic. Our control room is going nuts right now. So the last thing we're going to talk about is where do you live online?
I would say the platform I'm most active on is Instagram. I really enjoy Instagram. I like looking at the pictures. I'm a very visual person. My Facebook isn't as active. Family and connections. I still use a little bit, but I would say the best representation of me is found on Instagram.
So what's your Instagram handle again?
Instagram is DJ_Lantz11.
Perfect. So we'll put that on the screen down here to let our audience know. And with that, you survived an episode of The Vault. We want to say thank you so much for being on our show. We really love talking to you about golf, pro sports, modeling, and also your partner in crime. So we look forward to seeing you when you come to LA. Maybe you can be here in our studio. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much, DJ.
Thank you so much for having me.
Later.
Later.
All right, so if you guys want to be a guest on this show, we would love to have you. We're looking for people, once again, top in the entertainment, sports, and business industry, inspirational content, people who are movers and shakers. We want you on our show, and thanks again for watching The Vault.